I just recently did a video on confidence versus arrogance. Now, the knock on Austin Rivers has always been that the only reason he's in the NBA, he plays in the NBA, starts in the NBA, is because his dad is an NBA coach. And I understand that. I think it's ridiculous. There's too much money involved. There's a lot of guys who have decent sons who aren't in the NBA playing basketball. He knows the game. He grew up around it. And if you didn't know he was the son of Doc Rivers, I don't think anybody'd really question why he's in the NBA. At least I wouldn't. I don't think he's a great player, but I think, he's getting better. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that he sort of has irrational confidence. And no question, I don't think anybody would doubt this. I don't think you would doubt this. There are guys out there today that can dribble better, shoot better, pass better, are bigger, stronger, faster. But for some reason, they're not better than Austin Rivers. They lack the right mentality. They're not aggressive enough. They don't believe in themselves enough. They're too passive. They stand back. In practice, they're holding back. They're not going all out. They're meek and mild. They're not speaking up. But Austin Rivers seems to really go for it. I think part of the reason why players like Austin Rivers, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry, even though they're not the most athletic guys, can still play in the NBA is because, one, they've been around guys that size their whole life, so being on a court with guys that big doesn't really bother them. I really think that's a thing. I know some guys think that's ridiculous, but when you grow up around big players, they don't intimidate you as much because it's just what you're used to. Second, they're big guys too. Their fathers were in the NBA. But that's besides the point. Again, there are a lot of guys who have a ton of talent, better form than that right there, but aren't in the NBA. So you can be one of the people who thinks he's just there because of his dad, or you can think like I think and see the difference is his attitude, his belief in himself, that he can do it, that he's not the most athletic, that he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, not the fastest, but he can still put up decent numbers in an NBA game. He carries himself. Somebody said he carries himself like he's a 6-time All-Star and he's never been an All-Star. Well, sometimes to play at that level, you got to be a little bit off. You got to have a little something about you that may come across as arrogant when it's really just something you're doing so you can compete at the highest level. Because if you don't have that, you're nothing. He couldn't be out there if you didn't have that. And I really love to see guys with great self-awareness. They know themselves. So Rivers, in a recent article I was reading today on ESPN, he said, I know what the narrative is on me. It's because I come from money and I have a swagger and confidence about me. That's why he says people don't like him. He goes on, but if I didn't have this confidence or swagger in myself, I wouldn't be built to handle the negativity I've gotten. I would have broken down years ago because I've gotten this since high school. And he has gotten this since high school, that's true. I've turned it into fuel, and it's helped me. I go into each away arena, and it's rough because of the shit I hear. This chip on my shoulder, this swagger and confidence, it helps me. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't be in the NBA. I've thought that about him his entire career because, again, I've seen players who have a better jump shot, better dribble, better defenders, better passers, but up inside the skull, they're not the same. Austin Rivers, like him or hate him, has confidence, has swagger in himself. You might think it's misplaced, but I think he's using it as his tool. I did another video on Dion Waiters and how he said, I have irrational confidence. And you have to have that. You have to believe in yourself before things will actually start to happen for you. Now, I'm not saying be a jerk and go around cocky with your head held in the air looking down on people. What I am saying is look people in the eye. Stand up straight. When you step on a court, act as if you belong there, that you're one of the best. Even if when you're playing, maybe it's not going the way you want it to go, still inside, have the feelings, have the thoughts, have a winning feeling, have a confident champion-like level mentality. I always tell you, when things aren't going right, you still have to maintain the positive thoughts. If you keep thinking and feeling that way, eventually your game's going to catch up to where your thoughts and your mind are. And that's a magical place to be. That's when you start to reach and max out your potential. And I think we all can say, like or hate Austin Rivers, he's maxing out whatever he's capable of doing. I don't think he can be much better than he is. And that's something, and that's all we can all shoot for, is to be the very best we can be. Basketball Brain is an online mental training program. Check it out at basketballbrain.com. This is Dylan. We are dedicated to your greatness.